Oh boy, do I really have a special off-road video for you right now. Right next to me is the all-new 2023 Ford Super Duty Tremor. It's a heavy-duty truck on 35s, but Ford is doing something else special this year with the introduction of this truck. This is another trim they call the XL Off-road. It's not an FX4, it's something else. And I'm gonna put it to the test here at the Ford Proving Grounds in Michigan. We're gonna run this little course that Ford has set up in both trucks, and I'm gonna see what this new truck is about and how it compares to the Tremor. I'm gonna start in this truck, the XL Off-road trim. This is new for 2023, and one of the big parts of this package are the tires, of course. In this case, Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax, very aggressive. The size is 285/70 R17, so this is a 17-inch steel wheel wrapped in this tire, and it's almost basically a 33. This is super cool. This is not part of the XL Off-road package. It's an additional option you could do, but you could put this Warn winch on this truck, and it tucks into the factory bumper. There's nothing sticking out, so you still have good clearance. And in this case, there's no chin spoiler either. That's nice. So this is pretty cool. So Seth, can you introduce yourself as well?
Seth Kozlowski, I'm the off-road trailer tow supervisor.
Sweet. And behind me I have Case. So I like this package. Well, so the FX4 was always there.
It's always there, yes.
So the FX4 is still there.
It is.
Am I going the right way?
Yeah, you're going right.
But now this XL Off-road package, I was talking to Dave last time we did a Super Duty drive, and he told me a lot of utility customers and commercial customers who do a lot of off-road work, they would buy a Super Duty and then swap tires.
Exactly, yeah.
For more aggressive tires.
Yeah.
But this Duratrax is already a way more aggressive tire that they used to use. Right, so that, we were seeing a lot of customer demand for that, and so we decided to go ahead and offer them a package that they can just get from the factory and be ready to go. So I think our locker is engaged.
It is, yeah. Automatically in off-road mode. So you can turn it off if you want, right?
For more maneuverability, maybe?
Yes.
And it's air down. I noticed that when we started.
It is air down. There's with all the weather that's been happening, obviously we're going to go through mud and getting the tires kind of mudded up, and then there's some rock portions later, so it just helps get the mud out of the tires and get you more grip when we get up to the rock section. Okay, so then the XL Off-road package is $995. I was checking into it. Okay.
And it has skid plates also.
It does. You're going left here.
Left.
Yep. The transfer case skid plate and the fuel tank skid plate.
Okay. And so you get bigger tires, basically 33s. You got skid plates. You got a locker.
Yes, and you get the vent tubes.
Oh, for water fording.
For water.
Yes. So
you can do up to 30 inches of water fording.
Okay, in this package.
In this package, correct.
Okay. Well, I'll try to go a little slower, right?
Okay.
I mean, see what the traction is like. Sure. I mean, the Duratrax tire has been around, but you, I mean, you kind of specify your own tire specs, right?
We do, yeah.
So not all Duratrax are identical.
No,
with different manufacturers, right?
Right. It needs to match of course, the load rating, carrying capacity, and the trailer tow capacity, and all the off-road requirements as well.
There's big ruts. Somebody has created a lot of ruts. I'm gonna engage my locker.
Sure.
Hold up. We need a little bit of momentum.
A little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
I told you to get muddy.
Okay, we're moving. We got the torque.
Nice.
It's got a little buddy, dude. So this just shows you don't need 35s or 37s, you could still move forward on 33s.
You can still get it done.
Yeah.
For sure.
You use Nathan's method. Our buddy Nathan, his method is you go to 11.
Oh, just all the way?
Yeah, you put your foot down,
Yeah.
So I am in for low, and I'm noticing, the truck starts out in second gear because I can see my gear monitor here, and then after a while it just went to fourth gear, now third, now second. So I like that and I'm not shifting it manually. I mean, I could shift it manually if I wanted to, but it's kind of giving me as much torque as I think I need.
Well, that's good to hear. I know there's, at least I've seen some comments or questions around why do we start in second instead of first for low.
Right.
And it's kind of a bit of a balancing act. You're gonna make it hard right here. So that mud's a good example. You need some wheel speed, right? And second lets you have more wheel speed, right? You can only go so fast in first gear. So we found second still has that right balance of plenty of torque because of all the multiplication.
Yeah.
But you can still build enough speed in those situations. First, you start. If you're in first gear, you'll start running into a rev limiter sometimes.
Yeah, but if you're pulling a stump out of the ground, you may be able to throw it in first, right?
Yeah, you can. So you can go into first. You just put it in manual mode. It's at the end of the stock. You hit the M button.
Oh, there.
Yeah, and then you can downshift to first. But
Bam, first.
yeah, and then
And now you're crawling.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a kind of articulating climb, just shows the traction capability of the truck. I'm looking at my inclinometer. It's about 16, 17, 18 degrees. And I'm trying to go slowly just to kind of show the capability. A little bit of scraping maybe. Maybe I'm using my skid plate. But yeah, that was about 18 degrees up slope. As I was saying before, the TFL-Off-road gets you the bits like the tires and the skid plates and the locker. The 360-degree camera system that I was using so much during my run here is an additional option. So that's not part of the TFL-Off-road package. And also, as we mentioned, this winch, this 12,000 pound Warren, is also an additional charge. And I think it used to be about, what, $3,500? I'm not sure about the pricing right now, but it's approximately in that neighborhood. Think of this truck as a more affordable, heavy-duty off-road package from Ford. It's available on the work truck, the XL trim line, no matter what the configuration is. It could be a regular cab, extended cab, or crew cab like this. You can have a diesel engine with, you can see here, with dual exhaust tips on the side, or the 6.8 liter gas V8 engine as well. Well, even though that XL off-road truck does not have a great amount of ground clearance, it still pulled me through with those aggressive Duratrack tires. But now it's this bad boy's turn. The Tremor has been around already for what, about 3 years on the market in the previous generation of the truck. Now it returns with a vengeance. It's a highly popular configuration. It's not super affordable though. I'll explain it in a second. But let's take it off-road right now. And this is a gas-powered Tremor, so 7.3 liter V8. In the XL Off-road, you could get a 6.8, so the base motor.
Yes.
In the other truck.
And so we're about to do trail turn assist. So to activate it, it's just push in the middle of that drive mode knob. That's how you activate TTA.
I see.
So it'll be in standby on there, and you should see on the HUD too, it has the two little arrows in the direction you're going to turn green.
I see that. Okay. So I've been kind of turning around this cone. Oh, I see, it's green and it's dragging a tire.
Yep.
So it's helping me, because it's a big truck.
It is a big truck. So it helps to reduce that turning radius.
Yeah, let me see again here. And I guess a little bit more aggressive with the throttle. It works, I guess, a little bit smoother. I mean, because it's kind of locking up the inside tire, right?
It is. So there's a couple different drive methods you can play with it.
Okay.
With it if you want, but because it's kind of relying on the physics of that block tire building up a berm of dirt in front of it.
Okay.
You can try and do it very quickly, and it's going to skid and slide a little bit more. Or if you do it real slowly and just kind of feather the throttle, the truck will almost feel like it walks sideways.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, it depends on how locked the steering wheel is, right?
It does.
So if it's less or more, it'll adjust how it behaves.
So it actually has a narrow window of when it will engage near full lock, either left or right.
Okay.
And so the effectiveness is pretty dependent on the surface that you're on.
Yeah. And this is kind of loose dirt here.
Yeah.
This truck sits higher than a standard Super Duty.
It does.
Especially in the front, right?
It does, yes.
And then you have a bigger tire too.
Yep, 35s.
So in the front, you were saying about 1.8 inches more than a standard truck?
Yeah, the lift plus the tire gives you about 1.8 inches. Yep.
And low just gives you precision, a little bit more precision,
It
right?
does, yeah, that low speed wheel control. Right, you can just feather that throttle and it'll help control that wheel speed. Just a running board.
That's what it's there for,
That's
right?
what it's there for.
Okay, so...
Yeah, we'll back up.
I think I was moving too slowly. Or somebody else has...
I think if you go a little faster, yeah.
Ooh, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
It's a little rocky. Folks, don't try this at home. Or get a Tremor.
Yeah. Or if your home has rock field in the backyard, I guess you could try it.
I started out so controlled and precise, and then I was trying to use Nathan's method.
Oh, no. Sending it to 11?
Trying to. Not quite 11 yet, but
Okay.
trying 11. Rock roll mode put me in low, and it asked me to go into neutral,
Yep.
like it just did. And then going back to off-road mode puts me in high.
Yep.
Four-wheel drive high.
So you have your coolant and transmission temperature up there.
Yeah, right there.
It's just your standard default gauge. But if you go down to detailed, see how the temperature shows up in the gauges actually. So a lot of people, a lot of Super Duty customers want to know exactly what the temperature is.
You know, I talk about that a lot in a lot of the trucks we test, because sometimes the gauge is like an approximation of what's happening, but
Yep.
sometimes you want to see the actual digital numbers.
Yeah.
So this part, we're doing the same thing I did in the TFLoff-road truck.
Is it similar to Andre's pit back home?
You know, Andre's pit at Tumbleweed Ranch is a little easier than this.
Okay.
But the back course, you know, we have the pond course.
Yeah.
On TFLoff-road, we call it pond course, and it's a little similar to this because we have that creek that runs through it.
Right.
And it's pretty,
Keeps it wet.
Keeps it wet and a little bit goopy like this. So this is where I got hung up in the TFLoff-road truck. So let's see, we should have a lot more clearance, and my locker, I'll engage my locker. There it is, because I had it engaged in the other truck. And let's see if I can do just maybe a tiny bit of momentum. You know, I'm not using a lot of RPM actually now.
Yeah. So you can tell the difference in the tires, right?
Yeah, I think
and the ride height.
and the clearance, right? Because in the TFLoff-road, I think I was pushing through some of the dirt, right?
Sure, yeah.
And here, just extra clearance helps.
So if you want, you can do it from here, but we haven't tried trail control yet.
Aha, okay.
Yeah, so to activate it, it's going to be right here.
So right now it's saying I was at 2 miles per hour, now I'm at 4. So my feet are not touching the pedals.
Yeah, and so there's a little distinction. Because you're in 4 low, you can have half-mile-an-hour increments.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in 4 high, it's 1 mile an hour increments.
Okay.
Yeah, so why don't we put the front camera on here, because I know it's coming up. Yeah, so 3 is probably a good set speed to try this at.
So I'm doing 2.
Okay.
My front camera is on, and we're gonna drop off the cliff, right?
Huh. I hope,
Well,
I hope not off a cliff, but...
That was 2 miles an hour. So it kind of caught me. So part of it is kind of hill descent control, right?
Well, you know, because we're going down, it is hill descent, but it also goes forward too,
Yeah.
you know, up a hill.
Yeah, that's what trail control does.
Yep.
Here's the kicker. Yes, the Tremor package costs about $4,400, but it's actually more than that, because you can only get it as a crew cab, you can only get it in some higher level trims, and it's only available with either a 7.3 liter V8, not a 6.8, the Godzilla V8 engine, and also the high output diesel, that 500 horsepower monster engine that they have. So once you add all that up, the crew cab, the higher trim levels, the more expensive engines, the price of this puppy can go up and up and up and up, but you can still configure it. So the Tremor package itself gets you quite a few items. You have, of course, a slightly lifted suspension. You have 35-inch tall tires, so you are getting that higher ground clearance overall. You have, of course, a rear locker and the skid plates, but also a limited clutch-based, limited slip differential in the front. So you also have a lot of good traction and transfer of traction in the front axle as well as the rear axle. That can help a lot in deep mud that I was going through today. You also have trail control and trail turn assist. And you also get some graphics and other special Tremor items. Which truck is your favorite? I'm gonna have to pick this guy. And maybe not even with the diesel. Yes, I drove this one with a 6.7 liter power stroke, but I think if I was buying a Super Duty for 2023 or beyond, I would choose the TFL-Off-road package with the camera system that this one has. I would probably add the winch because it's just awesome. And get a slightly more simple truck with a gas engine that's more affordable. It could start around $54,000, maybe $55,000 with a few options, maybe even $60,000 after the winch and a couple of other items. But that's super solid. Yes, of course you can last over the Tremor, but for me today, I think it's with this new model. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and check out oldtfl.com for everything automotive in one place.